The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Dolly Vision's dreaming real. Two crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mock the truth while live on air light. Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house. Okay, tonight we are talking about BRYAN KOLBERGER. You remember that guy? He's the guy that slithered, according to the judge, through the back door, killed the Idaho 4. Now, the family went off on BRYAN KOLBERGER today, and he was sentenced to 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Also, we're going to be talking about Jack and Lily Sullivan. So, I'm going to need you guys to leave your DNA on the like button just in case somebody slithers through your back door and chops your ass up. Right? I'm going to need your DNA on file. So make sure you hit that like button. There's 400 of you in the room. Let's see if we can get at least 350 likes without me having to say it a million damn times tonight. Also, if you're brand new, we're less than 50 people away from hitting 71,000. And Gopher's jumping on the Blessed Express already. Okay, you ain't blessed unless you riding the Express. $2 drive is alive. So if you ain't, sub up out there, ring the bell for notifications, and of course, feel free to share my ugly face on any social media platform you choose. Okay, we're going to start with the Idaho 4 because this is the big thing today. Okay, and it was absolutely crazy. For you guys that didn't get a chance to listen to the victim impact statements, we are going to be going over those statements today. And one of them was my favorite. The one where the kid said, you know, in high school and college, you got all A's. But when you get to prison, you're going to get the big D's. Okay. Now, I hope y'all know what the big D is. All right. But I thought that was a crazy one. And then when the sister got up there, the big sister, and just, I mean, she almost murdered BRYAN KOLBERGER with her words. Talking about he was a failed rapper. He sucked at rapping. He sucked at killing people. He's a nobody. I mean, they hit him with everything you could to belittle a damn killer that you could say. And we're going to go over those. I'm going to play the video for you guys of some of the stuff that was said tonight before we get into the Jack and Lily stuff. And you know, they still don't have the murder weapon. They don't have the clothes that he was wearing, but he is done. I mean, 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. He will never see the light of day. His mother was there, and his sister showed up in court. Okay. Now that's crazy, you know, because we watched Stephen Stearns the other day, and Jen Soto never showed up to give a victim statement for her daughter, Maddie Soto. Okay. Damn Bryan Kohlberger, a damn serial killer, allegedly, according to me. Family likes him more than Jen Soto cared about her own daughter. They at least showed up for Bryan Kohlberger. I mean, it's pointless, really, to show up. But it is what it is. Let's jump into this. Let's listen to a little bit of it. The judge tore him a new ass. The family tore him a new one. And he was sat there and just got belittled the whole time. And that is absolutely what Mr. Kohlberger. They call him just BK because they don't even want to say his name. Oh, BK. Gone. Right? You're going to be somebody's girlfriend. And what, in a couple days, he'll be sitting in a prison cell with Bubba. Let's listen to it.
Would I have thought that something like this would have happened to my closest friends? I thought that we were going to wake up and go upstairs, see them and tell them how they had scared us. And that they were going to tease us about how we are constantly scaredy cats. I make jokes about it as we would go to Taco Bell like always. But sadly, that is not what happened and what turned out to be my worst nightmare. When I first woke up that morning, I had no idea what happened. I woke up around 7 with a terrible toothache. So I called my dad, who is a dentist, and he asked what I should do. He told me to take Advil, so I did, and I went back to sleep. I was still out of it and still didn't know what happened. If I had known, I of course would have called 911 right away. I still carry so much regret and guilt for not knowing what had happened and not calling right away. Even though I understand it wouldn't have changed anything, not even if the paramedics had been right outside the door. I was so frantic that morning and scared to death, not knowing what had happened. And when I made the 911 call, I couldn't even get out the words. And from then on, I don't remember a thing. It was like my brain wiped that whole memory. That was the worst day of my life. And I know it always will be.
What's up, Jimmy?
While I was still in shock, trying to process the fact that my friends were truly gone, I had been attacked by the public. I was grieving, numb, and unsure of what had happened was even real. And at the same time, I was getting flooded with death threats and hateful messages from people who did not know me at all or know the dynamic of our friendship. Social media made it so much worse, and strangers made up stories to entertain themselves. The media harassed not just me, but also my family. People showed up at our house. They called my phone, my parents' phones, other family members' phones, and we were chased.
Yeah, she's reading on the behalf of Bethany. Okay, I got it now. Thank you.
While I was still trying to survive emotionally and grieve the loss of my friends. I hated and still hate that they are gone, but for some reason, I am still here and I got to live. I still think about this every day. Why me? Why did I get to live and not them? For the longest time, I could not even look at their families without feeling sick with guilt. I did not know what to say or what to do. I was terrified that my presence just made their pain worse. And I was still here when their kid, their siblings, and their friends.
Listen, either way you look at it, she's saying that the internet gave them a hard time. The fact is, you watched the killer. Well, Dylan did. Watch the killer walk right past her and never did anything about it. That's just the truth. That ain't being mean to them. That is stating fact that they watched the killer. They knew something was going on in that house. and they never called the police. I mean, that ain't being mean to them. That's absolutely fact.
Loved ones should have been here instead. After everything happened, I was afraid to go into my own backyard or alone in my house. I was scared that the person who did this would come for me next. I was always scared that the media would try to catch me at any moment of any day, even when I was just walking around my house. I made my parents close all the blinds during the day so no one could see me.
I'm not blaming them Midwest. I'm just stating a fact that they waited 8 hours to call the police when they seen this man in the house. That is absolutely strange, right? Like, why would you do something like that? It don't make good sense. I had never been able to figure out why they waited so long. I know they didn't kill the 4 kids. I mean, I know that, but I just don't understand what took them so long. You know, I'll probably kick that around in my head for the rest of my life. Like, I couldn't imagine me seeing some man walk through my house and me not call the police, or you catch a bullet, you know. Big D for BK. That is right, Heather.
Me even in the slightest chance. I barely left the house, and when I did, I made sure I was never alone. I slept in my parents' room for almost a year. I made them double lock every door, set an alarm, and still.
I'm talking about Dylan. Bethany was downstairs. Dylan was right there across from Xana and Ethan, and she heard the screaming. She heard the dog barking. She looks out the door. She sees a man dressed in all black and goes out the back door, but yet she doesn't call the police or check on anybody. Nobody else but me finds that bizarre. It's still bizarre as can be to me.
Check everywhere in the room just in case someone was hiding, and I still check my room every night before, and I double lock it. I have not slept through a single night since this happened. I constantly wake up in panics, terrified. Someone is breaking in, or someone is here to hurt me, or I'm about to lose someone else that I love. The fear never really leaves. For a long time, I could barely get out of bed, but one day I realized I have to live for them. They did not get the chance to keep living, but I do, and I will not take that for granted. So now every day I remind myself to live for them, and everything I do it with them in mind. I am still scared to go out in public, but I force myself to do things because I know that they would want me to keep living my life to the fullest. I am beyond blessed to still be here, and I refuse to take that for granted when they did not get a chance. Our house was not just a house, it was a home. It was where we laughed till we couldn't breathe, make meals, did crafts, binge watch reality shows, played games, and spent lazy days on the couch. It was movie nights, wine nights, morning debriefs, pranks, hot chocolate, cookies, and warmth. I would cherish those memories forever, and I will not let what happened erase how special our home was or how much those memories meant to me. Now, I would like to share some bits and pieces of who they were as people and some of the memories that we shared. One of my favorite memories was Halloween, and we all went to Sigma Chi. But instead of partying, we just sat in an apartment, talking and laughing all night long. I do not think I've ever laughed that hard in my life. We did not care about the party. We were just happy to be with each other. Xana was 1 in a million.
He don't look phased through none of this. You know, I think he actually knew he wanted to get caught. I think he wanted the attention. He wanted to be infamous, not famous, because there's a difference. I think he wanted to be infamous. He wanted everybody to know his name because he was a nobody. And this was a way that everybody would know who he was. And you got to remember now, pretty much BRYAN KOLBERGER is a household name. Everybody knows who BRYAN KOLBERGER is. They will at least know he killed the Idaho 4 students. And yeah, he doesn't seem phased. And the same thing with this is, you know, he's high profile. So when they put him in prison, they'll put him in protective custody so other inmates won't be able to get to him, which makes his time go even slower. But I doubt anything happens to him in prison, to be honest.
She was the life of the party.
He's probably sitting there reliving this in his head.
But she was also the kindest and funniest person I knew. Everyone loved her because she made everyone feel so
He
loved.
absolutely wanted fame and to be remembered.
She was just someone you always wanted to be around, no matter the circumstance. One of my favorite days with Xana was when she laid on the couch. When we laid on the couch together all day, watching movies and snacking. Or when she, Maddie, and I would go and get margaritas, chips, and salsa. She would also light up a room with her presence alone. Kaylee had the most beautiful, radiant smile. And she was so kind, but also one of the funniest people I've ever known. She loved playing little pranks. And she always had us laughing so hard that we could not breathe. She was so full of energy and life. I really believe that she could have ruled the world if she wanted to, and she would have been America's sweetheart. Ethan was the sweetest, most genuine guy. He was always smiling and always making other people smile too. Ethan was the kind of person you wanted around. He was so kind and easy to talk to and just so fun. And the way he cared for Xana was truly something to admire. And really was proof that storybook love and true romances really do exist. It was not only obvious to me, but everyone that was around Ethan and Xana that they were absolute soulmates. Maddie was not only one of my best friends, but she was the older sister I would have always wanted. There was no one I looked up to or admired more than Maddie. She was truly a ray of sunshine, and everyone was drawn to her. She was so kind, loving, funny, fun, and passionate. She had the sweetest soul and wanted nothing but the best for everyone and to love and show love to everyone. She took me under her wing and always made me feel so safe and included, and above all, loved and valued. She never failed to make me laugh or put a smile on my face. Still to this day, I am beyond grateful that she chose me to be her sorority.
No, he will not be in general population in a year. He's super high profile. They keep people like this separate. So he won't be, he'll be 23-1. And when he comes out, he'll come out with guards. So he won't be just roaming around the prison by himself. So this ain't like inmates are going to be able to get to him and any of that stuff. He'll be locked down. So inmates will be lucky to see him. He'd be like a unicorn in the prison.
Pretty little, and I thank God every day that I not only got to know her, but had her as one of my best friends. Honestly, I cannot pinpoint one favorite memory with Maddie because I have so many, and this would be a very long read if I did. But if some little memories with her that I cherish is when the two of us made a nice dinner and split some wine, or when we would binge watch Jersey Shore or Summer House. When we came up with a whole dance routine on Halloween and danced and sang all night, like no one was watching. All the late night walks home from going out, and just little shopping trips and so much more. I am beyond blessed that I had the chance to know each and every one of them. They changed my life in ways I would have never put into words. I hope that they are remembered for who they are, not what happened to them, because who they are were so beautiful, and they deserve to be remembered in the highest way. My heart breaks every time I go to text one of them or how badly I wish I could see and hang out with them. And then I remember I cannot. I will never be able to again. But I still talk to them in my prayers every single night, and I always will. I wish more than anything I could hug them one last time. And I wish I could tell them how much I love them. And even though I cannot, I still tell them every night. I will keep living for them as long as I am lucky enough to still be here. And they were all truly one of a kind. And they will be an...
He stalked that whole neighborhood. If you remember the cars being broken into and the suitcases and stuff going through, and he had been in that area a bunch of times, he was stalking that whole neighborhood. So he seen an opening and he took it. But I believe it could have been anybody that had their doors unlocked that night. You know, but he pulled right up there, went right to that house. So he had been watching it. He knew what he was doing.
our hearts forever and always.
Thank you. And please convey to Bethany my appreciation for her courage, and I hope that she heals.
Next is Dylan Mortensen. We're asking
All right,
for some
here's
accommodations for Miss Mortensen and that she be allowed to sit in my seat.
Sure.
Now, this is the biggest one for me is Dylan, because Dylan is the one that's seen him. Dylan is the one that was awake, heard him upstairs, heard her scream for help, seen BRYAN KOLBERGER, seen him dressed in black with a mask, seen him go out the back door, and didn't call the police. Okay. Now, listen, I'm not blaming her. Don't think I'm victim blaming. I'm just stating what happened. These are facts. This is part of the story. And then the next day, they call other people, and then they call the police. So this is bizarre, just to say. But I mean, he is a monster. He's going to get what he got's coming to him. But still, this is a bizarre story right here. And there was a lot of people on the internet, and I mean a lot of people saying that Dylan was trans. Dylan is not trans. There were so many people saying just mean things. Now, I did say it's hard to believe that she didn't know something was going on, right? But I never tried to shame her and say she was something she wasn't. But there was a lot of people saying she was trans on the internet, which didn't make no sense to me.
Dylan, just take your time, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor. What happened that night changed everything. Because of him, four beautiful, genuine, compassionate people were taken from this world.
She's lucky to be alive. She's lucky to be alive.
He didn't just take their lives. He took the light they carried into every room. He took away how they made everyone feel safe, loved, and full of joy. He took away the ability for me to tell them that I love them and that I'm so proud of them. He took away who they were becoming and the futures they were going to have. He took away birthdays, graduations, celebrations, and all the memories that we were supposed to make. All of it is gone. And all the people who loved them are just left to carry that weight forever. He didn't just take them from the world. He took them from me, my friends, my people who felt like my home, the people I looked up to and adored more than anyone. He took away my ability to trust the world around me. What he did shattered me in places I didn't know could break. I was barely 19 when he did this. We had just celebrated my birthday at the end of September. I should have been figuring out who I was. I should have been having the college experience and starting to establish my future. Instead, I was forced to learn how to survive the unimaginable. I couldn't be alone. I had to sleep in my mom's bed because I was too terrified to close my eyes. Terrified that if I blinked, someone might be there. I made escape plans everywhere I went. If something happens, how do I get out? What can I use to defend myself? Who can help? And then there are the panic attacks. The kind that slam into me like a tsunami out of nowhere. I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking. All I can do is scream because the emotional pain and the grief is too much to handle. My chest feels like it's caving in. Sometimes I drop to the floor with my heart racing, convinced something is very wrong. It's far beyond anxiety. It's my body reliving everything over and over again. My nervous system never got the message that it is over, and it won't let me forget what he did to them. People call me strong. They say I'm a survivor, but they don't see what my new reality looks like. They don't see the panic attacks, the hypervigilance, the exhaustion, the way I scan every room I enter, the way I flinch at sudden sounds. They don't know how heavy it is to carry so much pain and still be expected to keep going, and that's because of him. He stole parts of me I may never get back. He took the version of me who didn't constantly ask, what if it happens again? What if next time I don't
This
survive?
is feeding his ego. He has no empathy.
No, he's enjoying every minute of this. Now, if you're planning on killing people and you're into serial killers and you know he was studying killers, this is what he wanted. He wanted this. He's been waiting for this moment. This is what he was looking forward to, is to see the fear that he put through these people through. Dylan is lucky to be alive. It's amazing that he did not kill her. Especially, I think he was so hyper-focused on getting out of there before he got caught that even though she was right in front of him, I don't think he's seen her. I think he was fixated on what he'd done and getting out of there quick as he possibly could. But it's a miracle that this girl is alive. If he would have truly seen her, she would not be here. Even though she was right in front of her, he missed her. He overlooked her. He was in such a panic to get out of there because he's a coward. He didn't want to get caught. He was scared. That's why that paper he wrote was like, he was asking people, did you ever get anybody ever confront you while you were committing a crime, and what did you do? Because he didn't know what he was going to do if somebody did confront him. And he had just gotten that big fight with Ethan, and he was in a hurry to get out of there because he might not have knew if there was any other men in that house because he had just unalived Ethan. So he was thinking, oh man, there might be more guys here. Let me get out. And he just shot out that door fast as he could and didn't see Dylan.
He may have shattered parts of me, but I'm still putting myself back together.
Yes, yes. He drew a picture of a black heart. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like visual snow around the heart. You know how he's seen that white snow? And then if you look dead in the center of this paper where my mouse is, it's a heart. He drew a black heart because that's what he has. He don't feel sorry for these people. He wanted this. I truly believe he wanted to get caught. That's why he left a knife sheath.
Piece by piece, I'm learning how to live in this new version of life. It is not easy. It hurts, but I'm still trying. Still trying, and I'm not trying just for me. I'm trying for them, my friends.
And he drove his own car. Even gang members are smart enough to go steal a car, commit a crime, and then jump out and run, right? Because that car can't be traced back to them. An idiot wouldn't drive their own car to the scene of a crime.
About a year ago, I had a dream about them. I got to say goodbye. I told them I won't be able to see you again, so I need to tell you goodbye. They all kept asking why, and all I could say was, I can't tell you, but I have to. When I woke up, I felt shattered and heartbroken, but also strangely grateful. Like maybe in some way that dream gave us the goodbye we never got. Still, no dream can replace them, and no goodbye will ever feel finished. He is a hollow vessel, something less than human, a body without empathy, without remorse. He chose destruction. He chose evil. He feels nothing. He tried to take everything from me. My friends, my safety, my identity, my future. He took their lives, but I will continue trying to be like them, to make them proud. Living is how I honor them. Speaking today is to help me find some sort of justice for them. And I will never let him take that from me. He may have taken so much from me, but he will never get to take my voice. He will never take the memories I had with them. He will never erase the love we shared, the laughs we had, or the way they made me feel seen and whole. Those things are mine. They are sacred, and he will never touch them. I get to feel sadness. I get to feel rage. I get to feel joy even when it's hard. I get to feel love even when it hurts. I get to live. And while I will still live with this pain, at least I get to live my life. He will stay here.
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, there's 866 of you. I don't even think we got 400 likes on this video. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as we go over these victim statements. And then I got some other stuff for you on the Jack and Lily Sullivan stuff. So make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. And I don't have to say it 1,000 times if y'all just hit it, okay? Just hit it one time. Boop. It's free. This week only. This week only. Man, that's Dylan. Yes. This is who we've been waiting to hear from for the last year and a half. And it's sad, man. And to be honest, like I said, it's strange she didn't call the police, but this girl is absolutely lucky to be alive.
Empty, forgotten, and powerless.
Dylan, thank you so much for your courage. I appreciate it.
Next, we have members from the Madison Mogen family. First would be Scott Laramie, Madison Mogen's stepfather.
Well, the sister asked him, what's the second weapon? You know, there's 2 weapons that were used. That is a little weird unless he had one weapon in one hand and one weapon in the other hand. But I can understand why people may suspect that there was a second person involved, because there's 2 different wound patterns. So there's 2 different, it wasn't just a K-bar used. And you'll even hear her sister say that. What second weapon did you use on my sister? Right? Where's the weapons at? So that's why so many people think there's other people involved, is because the wounds were from 2 different weapons.
Standing by him is Karen Laramie, Madison's mother.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Scott Laramie. I'm Maddie Mogen's stepfather and the husband of Maddie's mother, Karen Laramie. I will read this victim impact statement on behalf of Karen and myself. Maddie was our gift of life, our purpose, and our hope. Maddie quickly became Karen's joy, identity, and purpose in life. I joined Maddie's life when she was 2.5 years old. The experience transformed me into a life of joy, love, and family. Maddie was bright, beautiful, kind, empathic. She listened carefully to others and was observant. seeing and caring about the hearts and the minds of all she encountered. She loved music.
Police said today one weapon, I think her face wounds were not his fist. No, there were stab wounds and there was gouge wounds. If you remember from the autopsy, that there was wounds that were ripping wounds and there were straight stab wounds. So it was believed to be from two different weapons, because the injuries wasn't just consistent with the K-bar knife. And like I said, her sister even says something about it in her speech. She says, "What's the second weapon you used on my sister?"
Music and music festivals. She had a wonderful sense of humor. She excelled in school. She was an easy child to raise, almost never requiring discipline, and almost always giving us parental joy. One time Karen remembers disciplining Maddie as a little girl. Maddie responded, "You broke my heart," which of course melted ours. She had a keen wit, even at that young age. As she transitioned into teenage years, she prioritized us and extended family over many of the distractions that capture teenagers. She showered us with her presence and love at family events, barbecues, picnics, birthdays, holidays, and others. She spent countless hours with her papa, her Uncle David, Aunt Nadine, and her other close family and friends. This world was a better place with her in it. As she reached adulthood, Maddie applied her studies to be a marketing professional, entering into an internship at Payne West, and started planning her professional future. As with all things, she involved Karen and myself in the joy of her journey. As she transitioned into womanhood, Karen and I continued to be astounded at this wonderful and accomplished person we had created. All parents dream of their children accomplishing more than them. We realized this dream, all we had not become, she was becoming. Karen and I are ordinary people, but we lived extraordinary lives because we had Maddie. Maddie was taken senselessly and brutally in a sudden act of evil. She was taken along with the young, promising, and bright lives of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. First, we felt disbelief. Next, we felt disorientation. Then we felt grief overcome us. Our grief is compounded even more for the goncalves, kernodle, and chapin families. We speak of hope and healing, and we do have hope and some healing. But the vast emotional wound will never fully heal. Since Maddie's loss, there's emptiness in our hearts, home, and family, an endless void. After losing her mother in a car crash, Karen took years to grieve and recover. The feeling that her life with Maddie and A was perfect helped her to start to heal. Now, this is no longer perfect. After Maddie's loss, Karen felt like she was spinning out emotionally collapsing into anxiety and depression. She sometimes asks, "How am I supposed to go on when I've lost my favorite person in the world?" I felt the same, and we continue to struggle. The loss of Maddie has impacted so many beyond our family. Her second family is her sorority sisters who grieve alongside us. She has so many close friends who suffer from her loss. We will continue to be, her loss will continue to be felt by the Vandal community, including Vandal Solutions on campus, where she volunteered her time for others. It helps us to know Maddie is in heaven now, freed from the trials of this earth. We, however, continue to live on without the grace and support of her presence. We will grow old without our only child, our bright, beautiful friend and daughter. In the end, there are no words that can accurately capture the devastation of losing Maddie. We will endure, and we will go on, For Maddie, we will not let our grief consume us. For Maddie, we will continue to love and care for our family and friends, including the families of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. We will remain united with them. We can only hope that others out there suffering similar losses can look to us and see that we can overcome hatred, darkness, and evil. We know the law allows us to comment on the defendant and the sentence. As for the sentence, we support the plea agreement. Society needs to be protected against this evil. As for the defendant, we will not waste words, nor will we fall into hatred and bitterness. Evil has many faces, and we now know this, but evil does not deserve our time and attention. We are done being victims. We are taking back our lives. We will turn our time, talents, and attention to hope, healing, and helping others, and to the future. We invite all those who have suffered with us on this to join us in our journey. We can make this world a better place. We can move on from tragedy.
I don't play things so you can see it. I know it was on TV today. I play it so y'all can hear my input on it and my thoughts on it. It's so I can review it with you guys. It ain't because I hoping you didn't see it. I wanted to discuss it with you. That's why I play the stuff. So if you've already seen it and don't want to hear me talk, then why are you even tuning into my channel? That don't make no sense. I figure you would tune into my channel to see what my input was on what these people were saying, right? You could just easily turn on YouTube and watch this without me, right? So you're like, well, I think I seen this earlier. Well, you haven't seen my input on it, okay? That's the new part of this.
Adversity will visit us, evil will visit us, but we will overcome. We can and will endure. Karen and I express our gratitude to Your Honor and to the prosecution team for allowing us the opportunity.
Is he to the right of them or in front of them?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. I think he is to the right of them. I think he's to the right. That's my honest belief, that it's a long row and they're showing it in split camera. So there's a little break, and on the other side, he's right over there.
Make the statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your courage, and I am so sorry for your loss. God bless you.
Your Honor.
We appreciate it.
Your Honor, this is
Dolly's input matters. Red
That-
heart emoji.
That is right, Army Mom. I'm glad some of you guys want my input on what I think it is. Like I said, I think if he would have seen Dylan, she would be dead. I know that there's been 2 weapons used, which that's why a lot of people think that 2 people may have been involved. Now, I don't know, my personal opinion, I think it was most likely just him, and he had 2 weapons with him. And I truly believe that he wanted to get caught, and he left clues purposely to see if they would be able to track him down, because only an idiot would drive their own car to a crime scene. Gangbangers in the hood know better than this, right? When they go out and do a drive-by, the first thing they do is they go steal a car, load it with guns, ride by, shoot people, pull that car into an alley, and torch it, right? And that way they can't be traced. The car don't trace back to nobody. They burn it so they can't get fingerprints or any evidence out of the car. Even young gangbangers know more than Kolberger, okay? And he's supposed to have a master's degree in criminology. He's a dumbass, or he wanted to get caught. And he wanted to be right here, sitting there staring at these people all side-eyed like he's doing right now.
Leander James is the attorney for the Mogen family and victim advocate. He'll be reading a statement for Karen Laramie.
May it please the court, counsel. My name is Leander James. I'm the pro bono counsel for Karen and Scott Laramie. Karen has asked me to read the statement into the record. I thank my husband, Scott, for his statement, his courage, and his unending love and support during this dark time. While words are inadequate to capture the impact of this horrific crime on our family, he expressed it as best anyone could. For Maddie's sake, I will add my supplement statement that incorporates additional impact in the context of my extended family. I am grateful to Maddie's great uncle, BRYAN KOLBERGER, for assisting me with the difficult task of putting our pain into words. For me and my extended family, Maddie was our hope and our light. Her beauty, both outside and in, shone its light upon everyone with whom she came in contact. Her beauty, she carried that hope and light into the future for our entire family. We have memories of our Maddie and grief and pain at her being taken from our presence.
Yes, I have it sped up a little tiny bit. That way we can get through it a little bit faster. So yeah, it ain't much sped up much, but it's sped up just a little bit.
Any one of us would have given our own light to have been outshone by hers. We now look to our Creator to know that her light continues where we look to see her in his presence. Those who commit evil for their own twisted gains and purposes truly defile the efforts and sacrifices of mothers, fathers, families, teachers, clergy, public servants, service members, and all those who commit themselves to the greater good, freedoms, and the future light of our nation. Condemnation falls heavily upon those who squandered the lives of our future hopes and dreams. Some may offer forgiveness for what the defendant has done. However, we cannot at this time, or perhaps ever, nor will we ask for mercy for what he has done. His acts are too heinous, the agony and grief he has caused too great. But we will waste no further words or thought.
Tell us, Dolly, tell us. We want to hear even in Australia.
Thank you from Australia. I'm glad you can be here today with us, Lewis. Yeah, like he's definitely a monster. Is 1.5 a little fast? Okay, if y'all want me to slow it down a little bit, I can slow it back down a little bit. Not much though. There we go.
On him. For Maddie's sake, we will move on. We will do our best to carry Maddie's light into this world and make it a better place. I thank the court and the prosecution for allowing me the opportunity to make my statement. And I thank all those who have and will support my family and the families of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Laramie. Appreciate it.
Next is Ben Mogen, the father of Maddie Mogen.
Here we go.
Yes, of course. Actually, Your Honor, it'll be Kim Cheeley, the grandmother of Maddie Mogen.
Oh, grandmother's sad.
My name is Kim Cheeley. I was Maddie Mogen's paternal grandmother, as Ben Mogen, her father, is my son. I'm here today with my sister Lori Cheeley, Maddie's great aunt, and my son Ben Mogen, and my daughter-in-law Corey Hatrock. I'd like to begin by thanking a number of people involved in bringing this case to closure. In my daughter's words, the plea deal the prosecution team reached this month is one that punishes the perpetrator of this horrendous crime, protects the public from further harm, and allows all of us who knew and loved these kids the time to grieve without the anxiety of the long and gruesome trial, the years of appeals, and potential for mistrial.
Kolberger's sister and mother is there. His father's not there, but his mother and his sister are in the courtroom.
Along the way. My family and I are so grateful to Bill Thompson and his prosecution team for their dedication and painstaking work that forced the perpetrator to admit his guilt. We want to thank the Idaho State Police, the Moscow Police Department, the FBI, and Judge Hippler. We'd also like to thank the University of Idaho officials who treated the families of the victims with such dignity and kindness, and who have honored the 4 victims beautifully. Maddie was my first grandchild, so when she was born, all her grandparents had the distinct pleasure of deciding what we'd like to be called. I chose Nana, pretty original. But when Maddie was about 1.5 years old, her papa, Ben's dad, and I were planning to visit the new little family in Oregon. Maddie didn't have an extensive vocabulary at the time, but for some unknown reason, she called bananas ba-deedle-deedles. When Karen and Ben told her Nana was coming to visit, she figured I say deedle deedle for that word. So I became deedle deedle, shortened to Deedle when she was about 6 or 7. And I was Deedle all her life. I don't think her stepdad, Scotty, ever knew my given name was Kim. Maddie's and my birthdays were one day apart. And a couple years before she was killed, she gave me this necklace with Deedle and Maddie engraved on it. And I added an angel wing, and it's one of my treasured possessions. I also got an angel wing tattoo. Never thought I'd see the day, but along with many members of our family, replicating the one that Maddie and her sorority sisters had, I wanted mine where I could see and touch it often. From preschool through grade school, I stopped teaching piano lessons early on Wednesdays and picked Maddie up for bubble baths, brownies, and books. It was our special time together. And she went home those nights in her jammies with a pan of warm brownies for her family. Although Karen and Scotty raised Maddie and did such a lovely job of parenting, we Mogens were lucky to have her for holidays and many other family gatherings. We'll always have our treasured memories of Maddie growing up in our big extended cooperative family. And I thank Karen and Scotty Laramie for being so generous and open and sharing Maddie with her Mogen side of the family. When the 4 kids were murdered, the foundation fell out of our world. Initially, the fear was truly debilitating. The first 6 weeks were excruciating, despite the vigils, memorials, candlelight gatherings of students, friends, family, community members. After the arrest, in the past 2.5 years, my family has lived with grief, with the effects of traumatic grief, of which I was blissfully unaware before all of this. I now have a stack of books on grief. I've attended grief classes at hospice. I've tried EMDR, a technique that helps replace disturbing visions with something more comforting. My son, Ben, his 2 sisters, Maddie's aunts, and I have all experienced depression and anxiety and sleep disturbance, requiring medical intervention at times. We've all sought counseling off and on. The struggle with media attention was extremely difficult, especially for Ben. No one should live through the violent murder of one's child. Some days it's beyond me how the parents of these kids are still upright. I'm thankful for the strong families and communities that are supporting the survivors.
Okay, we're almost at 700 likes. If you're just tuning in, guys, make sure you hit that like button for Dolly, not this ugly monster that's on the screen. And I'm talking about the one above me. Okay, not me. Ugly monster, right? With his little thin eyebrows that he's been plucking out by hand. So today, if you're just tuning in, Bryan Kolberger got 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. He will never see the light of day. He took this plea bargain because he's a coward and he was going to get executed and he didn't want to die, right? Like most people that want to take people's lives, they don't want to give up theirs. So he will go to prison and sit and rot for the rest of his life to never see the light of day again, which to me is not justice. He should have faced the firing squad. 854. All right, you guys hit that like. Let's get it up. If you're super cool, share the video. Thank you guys for being here with us tonight.
At the time, I could think of only 2 blessings surrounding the horrific murders. One was that Ben was living with my partner, Tom, and me at the time, and that we could support each other emotionally through it all. Sadly, Tom died a year ago of a rare brain cancer, and he won't be here to see justice served. He was our family's rock, and we all miss him every day. A second blessing is that my mother died of COVID several months before the kids were killed, and she didn't have to live through the horror. It was difficult to identify blessings. So we've all lost our dear child and a future with her. I ache for the loss of the dreams that she and her true love, Jake, held.
Yes, his family will support him. His sister and his mother were there, right? And you know they're sending him canteen money in jail. They live in a house in the Poconos. They're not broke. His sister's a psychiatrist. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to send him money. He probably has a stack of oodles and noodles and cookies as we speak. I mean, look at Stephen Stearns. His family, he murdered and RSA'd little Maddie, and they were sending him money, and he was making phone calls. You can believe he has money on his books.
And my heart goes out to Karen and Scotty and your side of Maddie's family.
That's
You've
why
had
this
more than
thing
your
jumped.
share of loss. My heart aches for the kids' roommates and the families of the other victims, and also the family of the perpetrator. Going forward, we Mogans are choosing to put our energy and focus into honoring Maddie's too short life and sweet spirit by celebrating Maddie May Day, which my two daughters established. On May 25th each year, Maddie's birthday, we encourage folks to do random acts of kindness in Maddie's name. In my daughter Katie's words, may we all protect our peace in whatever way possible, unite in community, and focus on joy. Please do an act in kindness in Maddie's honor during this week, so a glimmer of Maddie's light may live on. Thank you.
Thank you, and appreciate your courage, and bless you and your family.
Thank you.
Hey love. Been so busy, time for the updates. Dolly gotta eat. Jump on a Dolly train.
Thank you, Three Sides. You're riding the Blessed Express. You ain't blessed unless you own the Express. Okay. You need some good luck in your life. Jump on the Blessed Express. Okay. Thank you for being here with us, Three Sides, and thank you for your donation to the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. I leave tomorrow for Crime Con, Dolly on the road. Okay. I will be broadcasting when I get to North Carolina tomorrow. So I got to leave early in the morning. I'm heading down to North Carolina for not Crime Con, Galaxy Con. Galaxy Con, where there's a bunch of B-list celebrities, comic book people, professional wrestlers, different people from horror movies. And I'm going to be bringing y'all guys that live from Carolina. So I got to be up kind of early tomorrow. So I'm not going to be a super late night tonight because I got to get my lazy ass up to drive to Carolina.
Now it's been Mogen, Maddie Mogen's father.
I'm Benjamin Mogen. I'm Maddie's dad. And first I just want to say thanks to all the people that helped bring this all to a close. I know it's not the resolution that everyone wanted, but I think that that everyone worked so hard, and we really appreciate all their efforts. It was such a hard thing to go through for everybody.
Thank you, Three Sides.
Maddie was my only child that I ever had.
Thank you, Short Legs.
She's the only great thing I ever really did, and the only thing I was really ever proud of. And I thought we would have the rest of our lives together to be together and know each other. And
Dolly gotta eat.
And I took for granted the times she was in college, and I thought, oh well, we'll have the rest of our lives to do all the stuff that we're supposed to do, and she was just about done. She actually earned all of her credits for her college degree, and Karen and Scotty and I got to go and get her diploma that she actually earned, and she served every bit of that. And but I thought that was going to be just the beginning of a long life together, and we never got that. Karen and Scotty did such a great job raising her after Karen and I split up, and I'm so thankful for Scotty and the role that he played in her life when I wasn't able to. But we got to spend a lot of great times
Thank you, Three Sides. Damn, what'd you win the lottery? It says, oh, wait, what? We battling. This is what I call a dolly train. Okay. Thank you so much. And if you got a membership from Three Sides, make sure you give them a big virtual hug for getting you a membership. And that is super awesome. Thank you for the donations. You guys are absolutely great. It will go in the gas tank of my big ass truck. So I'm heading down. I think I'm leaving tomorrow around 10 a.m. That way I get a little bit of sleep, and then I should be in Carolina around, I don't know, 1 or 2.
Together, Maddie and I, she was my favorite person to go to a concert with. We got to see some fun shows together. And
Three Sides is in VIP, okay, along with Short Legs. They ride in VIP right now. They in the front of the train.
I told her if there's ever a show that you want to go to, let me know, and I'll get you tickets for you and your friend. Or if we want to go together, we'll make it happen. And my favorite memory with her was when the Mac Miller show sold out here in Spokane, and everyone wanted tickets, no one could get them, and on the last day before the show, they did a radio thing, and I got 4 meet and greet tickets for Maddie and her friends and me to go and see the show, and that was her favorite artist at the time was Mac Miller, and
Mac Miller,
he's gone now too, and my little cousin Zach drove us all there that night, and he's gone too, tragically, and anyway,
okay.
Last thing that she ever wrote to me was this Father's Day card, and I'm so glad I still have it.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mac Miller.
I'm just going to read what she said.
And
It
Ozzy.
says, Happy Father's Day. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. I'll be in Coeur d'Alene, 624 to 74. Hopefully we can find a time then. I love your birthday card that you sent me, by the way. Maybe we can see a concert sometime soon. I'd love to see the gorge when it's not so smoky out. I hope you're doing well. I'm proud of how far you've come. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best. Love you lots and lots. Love, Maddie Mae. She did encourage me to not just to do my best, but to live on. I went through a lot of issues with addiction and with substance abuse, and when I wasn't wanting to live anymore, she was what would keep me from just not caring anymore. And knowing that she was out there and that she was just such a beautiful person kept me alive a lot of rough moments. And
I don't think he's on any substance, but guys, when you battle addiction and you come off of the drugs, it still has major effects on your body, your mental health, and all those things. Sometimes when you do drugs, you permanently mess yourself up. That's why you don't do them. Okay. Because even after you get clean, sometimes you never really get back to being the person you once was.
I'm so glad that she was able to meet Jake. He was the only one that I actually ever got to take her to the gorge. They went and saw watershed together, and yeah, they had a heck of a time. I'm so glad she got to. That's a really special place for me, and she always wanted to work out there with me in the summer sometime. And she never got to, but at least she got to see it once with Jake. He was such a great guy. He was such a great guy, and I really wanted to see what a future with them would have looked like.
F you, BJ.
I'll never be able to replace her. I wrote a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what to say right now. It's that I just miss her so much, and I just love her more than anything. And this shouldn't have happened. And a death sentence is one thing. You know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be all gentle and stuff. But life without parole, with a building full of people that all just want you to not be around anymore, and waking up every morning not knowing if that's the day they're going to pull your card. I mean, it's not a very nice sentence either. So I don't know. I just love you, Maddie, and I wish you were still here.
Thank you so much.
I hope her daddy don't relapse. Okay. Because, you know, when you go through something so traumatic and you got off drugs, and you can clearly see the drugs have some serious side effects, right? That stay with you. And I'm just praying that this man don't get upset, because usually when you're battling demons, that's why people turn to drugs, to battle those demons. And they always lose, right? They always lose the battle. And I hope if he is clean, he stays clean, and slowly maybe his body will heal some of them side effects he has from the drugs. You can tell it had the abuse, the addiction that he had took a toll on his body. And it kind of reminded me of people in that, you know, into the Methodist thing. I'm just saying, it kind of reminded me of that. And coming off of that stuff tears your brain up. Okay. It has some serious side effects, and that linger or don't go away ever.
Your Honor, next would be members from the Kaylee Goncalves family. First will be her father, Steve Goncalves.
Today, we are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control. Today, we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families.
He's looking right at him.
The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI. You united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided.
All I know is they would have to drag me out of that courtroom by my feet, because I would jump slam over that bench and attack him. There wouldn't be enough deputies in that room. They would have to pin me to the floor and hit me with a shot collar to get me up out of there, because I would go crazy.
We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today, you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are. Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around and looked at me and said, what do we do, Dad? I told them, you get to work. You get your ass to work. And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on the camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you.
The judge was crying at the beginning of this. I mean, the judge was in tears. The judge called a mistake, disgusting. Like the judge would probably celebrate. I don't think they'd put you in jail. I mean, they might lock you up into courts over, but they would let you go. Like if he went crazy in the courtroom, usually they'll give you contempt and hold you for 10 days. But in a situation like this, they're going to take you to the back. And then once everything's over, they're going to bring you back out and tell you, hey, you can't do that. And they're going to let you go.
Police officers tell us within minutes, they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless, that foolish, that stupid. Master degree, you're a joke, complete joke. But we took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there, we shared it with the world. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan. Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country, and eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to Penn. I will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with, God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected, but thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is Stephen Goncalves, Kaylee's brother.
Stephen's actually going to pass. I'm going to go.
Okay. Olivia Goncalves, Kaylee's sister.
Here we go. The sister tears them up.
Hello. I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Goncalves, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogen as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief. I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant.
Kaylee's dad has me in tears, yes. Debbie H., thank you so much for supporting the channel. And all you guys just tuning in, make sure you hit the like button. Yes, he came out there, he turned that thing around, looked right at him in the face, and just told him, said, hey, you're nobody. You're nothing. You know, all this infamy you wanted, you get nothing. You're not shit. You know, you will rot and you will die in prison. So he sits there emotionless because this is really what he wants. He wanted this. He wanted to hear this. The real truth is they should take him out the room and let you know, but then again, let the families insult him. I understand it, but all he's doing is getting his kicks off of this. He's glad he hurt these people. He's a killer. That's what killers want, is to hurt people. And not only did he hurt them, but he's continued to hurt them. And now he gets to see their pain that he inflicted, right? It's actually disgusting. Yeah, the sister tears into him.
Accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them, and not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I had planned to read these thoughts even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down. And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you.
Damn!
How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee?
See?
What were Kaylee's last words?
2 weapons.
Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt.
Yes, rapper. He has a SoundCloud. If you didn't know, I was listening to his song today, and he tried to rap and make rap beats. So yes, he is a failed rapper, and he is a failed killer. And that's why she said the only thing you were worse at is rapping. And he only has 1 song up there, but the song is still there.
When you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty.
Look how he's staring at her.
You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else.
Look how he's blinking.
Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe.
Wannabe.
You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You worked so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he didn't like that. That was fire.
Next is Christy Goncalves, Kaylee Goncalves' mother.
Yeah, she nailed it for sure. She looked like she would kick his ass.
Thank you, Your Honor. I never imagined having to speak to someone so devoid of humanity. For a long time, I didn't think I'd find the words low enough to meet you where you are. But now I realize this isn't about you. It's about what you've done to me, and I need you to hear it. When you murdered my daughter, Kaylee J. Goncalves, you didn't just take her life, you shattered others. You attacked what you could never be, and in doing so, you left a trail of devastation far beyond that house. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment, every sleepless night, the way I view the world, people, safety, trust. It's all been...
Guys, we've got almost 1,000 people in the room and only 842 likes. Please take a second and hit that like button. Let's see if we can get me to 1,000, and then I'll shut my face. Okay? I promise. I won't say it no more. Just hit that like button real quick. We can do it. We can do it.
Changed by your cruelty. I no longer recognize parts of myself. Joy is harder to find. Laughter feels foreign. The world moves forward, but I'm suspended in place of sorrow and rage. You've taken from me something that can never be restored. The grief sits with me every day, some days quietly, and other days so loud it drowns out everything else. The emotional toll you've inflicted on me is immeasurable. I live with a constant ache, with birthdays that are now memorials, with holidays that feel hollow, with empty chairs that scream louder than words ever could. I am forever changed. But for you, as a person working on a PhD in criminal justice, you really didn't think this one through. You're not that good. In fact, you're not that good at anything. You couldn't secure a job. You couldn't get along with others. You couldn't even get a female to look in your direction. All because you are pathetic. Now you're a joke in this courtroom. I wish I could crown you with a jester hat to complete your orange jumpsuit clown look. A dead killer doesn't kill again. So while I'm disappointed the firing squad won't get to take their shots at you, I'm confident that the men in prison will have their way with you in more ways than one. You will finally get what you wanted, physical touch. Just probably not how you were expecting it. See, you haven't beat the system. You've simply entered a new one, where the rules are cruel and the consequences will never end. You are entering a place where no one will care who you are and no one will ever respect you. You will be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased. You will always be remembered as a loser, an absolute failure. And when those prison doors slam shut behind you, I hope that sound echoes in your heart for the rest of your meaningless days. I hope it reminds you of what we all already know. You're nothing. May you continue to live your life in misery. You are officially the property of the state of Idaho, where your fellow inmates are anxiously awaiting your arrival. But it's okay, because they're there to help you. Hell will be waiting. Quick message from our youngest daughter. Aubrey wanted to say, you may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
Getting big D's into prison. That was the best one-liner in it, okay? The big D in prison. You may have got A's in high school and college, but you getting the big D's in prison. That kid, the youngest, killed it. The sister killed it. I mean, they went out there throwing daggers at him. And that's what he deserves, is these insults that he's getting. He should be laughed at. He's a joke.
Thank you. Do we have more from the Goncalves family, or are you?
Yes. Next would be Shannon Gray, the Goncalves family attorney. He'll be reading statements from Kaylee Goncalves' grandmothers.
Morning, Your Honor. Shannon Gray, the attorney for the Goncalves family. I actually have 3 statements, one from her aunt and 2 from her grandparents. This is from her aunt, Tammy Butts. You, in the cloak of darkness, made a decision to turn our whole family's world upside down forever. You, in the cloak of darkness, took our Kaylee J. Goncalves away from us all without hesitation. Never have you shown any remorse or regret. We just get creepy, non-expressive stares as you have your team of women defend. Kaylee was a strong, kind, fun-loving, caring person, and she will greatly be missed by all her family and friends for the rest of our lives. She had goals in life that you took from her and us. We lose on watching her enjoying her life, working hard and building the future she wanted. She was ready to start that after college life. You, in the cloak of darkness, took it all away. You left us without her future wedding, her future children that she would have added to our family. No more talking to her on the phone, going for a coffee, celebrating holidays. It's all gone. You, in the cloak of darkness, gave each and every one of Kaylee's family members their own lifetime sentence. You, in the cloak of darkness, also took our Maddie Mae from all of us. She was so genuine, caring, polite. She was part of our family. You came in, harmed our children that were younger women than you in their own beds. You're nothing, you're a coward. It's not right that you have received life. I pray that you meet your end in the cloak of darkness, burn in hell. I have 2 other statements, Your Honor. This is Linda Lucan's statement. This is Kaylee's grandmother. I really don't know how to address something so inhumane, but I will try. Nothing in the past 2.5 years has made any sense. All I get is you cowardly went into a home at night, filled with what I'm sure you thought was all sleeping girls, and went on a vicious killing spree for no other reason but to appease your demonic urges. You took my granddaughter Kaylee from us, plus 3 other beautiful lives. You took my granddaughter Kaylee, beautiful, sweet-souled, doll-faced Kaylee, who was getting ready to start her amazing life, who had such a bright future, who was loved by so many, who you were so envious of. She had a life you could never have. You are so beyond human. You're definitely a demon from hell. I truly wish your punishment would be the same death you inflicted on our kids. But I think you will meet some new friends in prison who will be there just to help you. Thumbs up.
It's a heart, a black heart.
I have one last statement, Your Honor.
On the table.
This is from Cheryl Goncalves, Kaylee's other grandmother. John 1:5 says, light shines in the darkness, and the darkness overcomes it not. Somewhere in your life, some jealousy, envy, ego, something went dark. It pushed out all light until you became dark and evil. And when you saw my granddaughter and her friends, their light, because they have such a light, you couldn't stand it. Because the darkness in you could not stand the light in them. And so you decided to destroy it. Cowardly, you walked into their rooms in the dark and took their lives, hoping to get rid of your darkness. But you didn't. You failed. Because you know what was once a light shown only to their friends, families, and loved ones is now all over the world. Everyone sees it. Their smile, their beauty, their plans, everything they were and had. And you think you put a close to it, even that, but you didn't. Because they still exist. They are still light. They are still beautiful. You can never take that away. They will always be in the light of all eternity. And you will be in the darkness because you could not overcome it. You failed. I want you to be gone, more than gone. I want you to be cast out. Cast out from my life, from my family, from this earth. I will not allow your hatred to penetrate into my own soul. You do not get that power. You are evil, and in the end, evil is eradicated. You didn't take Kaylee's light, you spread it into the world. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, are you moving to a different family now? All right, why don't we take a 10-minute recess, all right?
Okay, let's jump ahead a little bit.
Life was, and she truly did live every day to the fullest. Yet her story was cut short by an act of evil.
I want to get to what the judge says.
But those speaking today and those who did not speak, but who carry the same burden, the same loss, now carry forward the memories of these now perpetually young people, these forever children. These survivors carry the responsibility of ensuring that the voices of these children, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, are never forgotten, and the positive impacts that they have had on so many lives are never minimized, and that the love they shared, the light that they shined onto others is forever celebrated. As we sit here today, this case is ending, and we are now certain who committed these unspeakable acts of evil, but we don't know, and what we may never know is why. I share the desire expressed by others to understand the why, but upon reflection, it seems to me, and this is just my own opinion, that by continuing to focus on why, we continue to give Mr. Kohberger relevance. We give him agency, and we give him power. The need to know what is inherently not understandable makes us dependent upon the defendant to provide us with a reason, and that gives him the spotlight, the attention, and the power he appears to crave.
I told you.
Yet even if I could force him to speak, which legally I cannot, how could anyone ever be assured that what he speaks is the truth? Do we really believe, after all of this, he's capable of speaking the truth or of giving up something of himself to help the very people whose lives he destroyed? Rather, I suspect the so-called reason would be dished out in enticing, self-serving, and aggrandizing untruthful bits, leaving people wanting more information, more insight, and thus enhancing even further the power he seeks to hold. Even if we could get truthful insight into his why, I suspect it would not in any way quench one's thirst for actually understanding why in the first instance. Because there is no reason for these crimes that could approach anything resembling rationality. No conceivable reason could make any sense. And in the end, the more we struggle to seek explanation for the unexplainable, the more we try to extract a reason, the more power and control we give to him. In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohberger's 15 minutes of fame. It's time that he be consigned to the ignominy and isolation of perpetual incarceration. I know there has been concern about him collaborating on books or movies or other media projects, and I truly hope that someone does not stoop to affording him this spotlight that he desires in the name of clicks, royalties, or profits. While criminal behavioralists should study him away from the spotlight in an attempt to prevent other would-be killers from acting on their worst impulses, there should be no need for that to spill over into the public eye. The great Idaho jurist Edward Lodge was known for trying to find something positive about every person he ever sentenced. And with over a half a century as a trial judge, that was a lot of people. This was often challenging, and I recall in one case he said that the best he could come up with was the defendant had good penmanship. Truth be told, I'm unable to come up with anything redeeming about Mr. Kohberger because his grotesque acts of evil have buried and hidden anything that might have been good or intrinsically human about him. His actions have made him the worst of the worst. Even in pleading guilty, he is giving nothing hinting of remorse or redemption, nothing suggesting even a recognition or understanding, let alone regret for the pain that he has caused. And therefore, I will not attempt to speak about him further, other than to simply sentence him so that he is forever removed from civilized society. And accordingly, based upon his conduct and based upon the record before this court, recognizing the standards that govern this court's sentencing decisions as set forth in State v. Hill, I hereby sentence Mr. Kohlberger as follows. On count 1, burglary, 10 years fixed, 0 years indeterminate. I also impose a fine of $50,000. Count 2, first-degree murder of Madison Mogen. I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 3, for first-degree murder of Kaylee Goncalves, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the victim of the family, or to the family of the victim, pardon me. On count 4, for the first-degree murder of Xana Kernodle, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 5, for the first-degree murder of Ethan Chapin, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim.
How does he pay it? When he signs a book deal or he signs a movie deal, they will pay him, and that money will go out and to pay the family and the fines. That's why the judge said he hopes nobody does it for clicks and views, but they will. Those fines will be paid. The first person with a book that wants to write a book for him will pay the fines. A movie company will pay the fines. They'll pay that for his story. Not only will they pay that, but they'll pay that and some. Okay, so when he does a tell-all book or something like that, it'll be worth millions of dollars. It's horrible. It is horrible, but it is what it is in this world we live in. Books and movies, they're going to pay it. You can believe that.
The sentences on counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shall run consecutively to one another. Restitution will be left open for 60 days. Defendant will be required to submit a DNA sample and a right thumbprint impression to the Department of Corrections and comply with the DNA Database Act. I remand the defendant to the custody of the Idaho State Board of Corrections for to be imprisoned in an appropriate facility and execution of the sentence where he will remain until he dies. Though you've waived your right to appeal, you do have a right to file a notice of appeal, and any such appeal must be filed within 42 days of the date of the written judgment, which will be entered shortly hereafter. Though the appeal, you should be aware, may be...
Yeah, they don't have a law to stop him from making money. California does. They did it to Manson. They did it to Gacy. They did it to a bunch of people because they were making so much money from movie deals and book deals that they had to do something about it. They were becoming millionaires. So he will, believe it or not, probably become a millionaire in prison. And the money will go to his family, of course, but they'll end up paying him for the deal, put out the book.
Deemed a violation of the plea agreement, and so I certainly suggest you discuss that with counsel if that is your desire. I ask the media and public present to allow the families to be escorted out first before they leave. Again, thank you to everyone for your stories today. I am strengthened by them, and I am encouraged by your humanity and strength, and God bless you. We're adjourned.
Okay. So there you have it. Manson was selling his art. Yeah, so was John Wayne Gacy. Gacy has paintings that are like $50,000 and up, right? Like, I collect weird things. And if anybody wants to hook me up with a John Wayne Gacy painting, I would like to have one. Okay. I mean, it's weird. It's odd. I tried to buy Jeffrey Dahmer's fort in an auction. Right. So, but I'm into crazy horror movies and weird, odd things. It's just, what I like to collect. Charles Manson used to sell scorpions that were made of his hair. And a lot of that stuff that's leaked out, even their autographs sell. Okay, you go try to buy a Manson autograph and see how much it cost you, or go buy something from Ted Bundy that anything he drew or anything like that in prison, it all has a value. Why? Your house is already haunted. Yeah, I know. But, I just like weird things, I mean, the painting didn't kill nobody, so what it would look, Pogo the Clown would look good on my wall. Okay. And he only did so many of them, and they're valued at a lot. I mean, a ton. And if I could ever get my hands on one, it would be nice. It would be nice. So, I mean, that's old school. That's old. But yeah, he's going to, somebody's going to give him some money for a book deal, or his family some money to the rights to his story. Usually even when you have the Son of Sam law, they go around it. What they do is they give the money to your family, and then they just ask you, did you answer their questions, and they still put it out. You can believe there's going to be books and movies on this, right? Because this was so high profile, one of the biggest cases in the country. So you can believe there's a movie director somewhere right now going, hey, write a check for his fines and another check for $1 million, and let's get the movie rights to this, right? It's horrible, right? It's horrible. And the judge knows it. That's why he says, I hope nobody pays him for movie deals and book deals. He didn't say they couldn't. He said, I hope they don't. Because he knows that's what's going to happen. He knows that. Everybody knows that's going to happen. So there's going to be books. Look, they offered, what was it? What was the killer? The Gringo Beach killer? What was that killer? The big tall dude. They gave his wife $1 million a book deal. No, $1 million Netflix deal. And he was the serial killer. What killer was he? I know he was from like Rhode Island or something, Staten Island. Somebody help me out here. He was just recently caught. Gilgo Beach. There you go. What did I say? Okay, yeah, Rex Huberman. There you go, Rex. They gave his wife $1 million. They were trying to do everything they could to stop that. And you just can't, So there'll be a movie, there'll be a book, even OJ. The reason OJ didn't put the book out is because the money would have went to the family of his victim, and he didn't want to pay them. Right? He could have paid those people. All he had to do was put out the book. And I mean, he wouldn't do it because he didn't want to. He was that much of a terrible person that he wanted to take their lives and give the family nothing. So he denied putting the book out. He wouldn't put the book out. So that is horrible. But the good thing is we got one monster off the street. Well, two this week. Okay. 2 monsters off the streets this week. We got BRYAN KOLBERGER's gone. He's already in a Supermax penitentiary. They already took him from the jail to the penitentiary. Stephen Stearns. Now, I don't know if they took him to the penitentiary yet, but, he took a plea. BRYAN KOLBERGER took a plea. All these people are cowards. They're scared that they'll lose their life. They say they're innocent, not guilty until the time comes when they know they're going to be proven guilty. Silver Netflix. Yeah, I know. And they paid her $1 million. So they had a little series on it on Netflix. That's usually what they do on these big stories is they make it into a 3-part series. And then they, give you $1 million, and then they get all the views on it. So, and then of course, your little Hulus and your Video Prime, they don't do as good as Netflix. Netflix, when your stuff makes it to Netflix, Netflix is the biggest streaming platform in the world. Okay. Huge. I mean, that's when the whole world is watching it. Like when you make it to Prime and you go on Hulu, ain't that many people really watch that. I mean, they do, but it ain't nowhere near the level of Netflix. So you can believe it's going to make it to a lot of streaming services. Netflix is going to give him $1 million deal. Easy. If they gave it to Rex Huberman's wife, you can believe they're going to Kohlberger's family with over $1 million. So him paying those fines, Nothing. He's going to make millions of dollars off murdering. He'll never get out to spend it, but he'll have plenty of canteen and his family will be even more rich than they already are. I don't think Netflix is worth the money. What? Netflix is the shit. Okay, no commercials on Netflix, right? Yeah, Netflix is, I watch Netflix almost every day. I can't think of a day I don't watch Netflix. I mean, I watch a little bit of Prime, but usually it's either Prime or Netflix for me. I mean, I don't know what you guys watch, but if Netflix wants to sponsor me or Prime Video, Dolly's here. I need the money. Dolly got to eat. Okay, Dolly got to eat. I'll be talking about Netflix every day. And I usually always give y'all a documentary to watch on Netflix. You know, I'll watch them because I watch every documentary like that ever comes out on everything, especially if it's on Netflix, because I think they do a really good job. The only people I think that compared to Netflix is HBO. When HBO was doing documentaries, you could not mess with an HBO documentary. They will make you think somebody could kill somebody right in front of you, and HBO will make you think they're innocent. Okay? HBO does a great job on documentaries, but Netflix has took it over now, right? Because nobody really watches HBO that much anymore. Everybody watches Netflix. So Netflix is your number one place for well put together documentaries. Like if you watch Hulu, it looks like a YouTuber made the shit, right? If you watch Prime, it's like a bad YouTuber made it. Okay, I've seen YouTubers make better videos than some of Prime's videos. Same thing with Hulu, right? Their documentaries suck. I mean, they may be decent, but they don't nowhere near compared to the level of money or quality of Netflix. Okay. So, and Netflix is worth so much money. They can buy the moon. Okay. If they wanted to. So, you know, they put down a Kohlberger 3-part series, right? It might be sometimes when it's really big, they put it out in like 7 parts. Like they're really, really big stories. So we may get something like that from Netflix, and you know, in the millions of dollars they'll pay. So anyway, Jack and Lily Sullivan. Okay. So Carrie A, thank
Dolly
you.
even got his background like Netflix.
Dolly even got his background like Netflix, right? Right. I need to get the little sound. You know how it makes a little da-dum, right? I need to get me a little sound like that when I come in, you know. And instead of the N, it is be a big D. That's the same thing. Kohlberger's getting the big D, right? He's getting the big Dolly, is what he's getting. All right, the big D. I'm gonna get me one just like Netflix, right? It pops up, you know. Everything that starts with Netflix, it starts with the big N and it makes a da-dum. We're going to do that with our D logo, okay? It's the big D is what we're calling it. The same thing that Kohlberger's getting up there in the Idaho jail, prison, Supermax. Well, Blue Eyed says big D's. That was crazy to hear in the courtroom. Crazy to hear in the courtroom. Let me tell you somebody else that might be in danger of getting the big D. Daniel, right? The father. Well, not even the father. He's like, what is he? He ain't the biological father. He is the stepdad. He ain't even a stepdad. Okay. We can't even give him that. We'll just call him Little D. Okay. Little Daniel over there. So, you know, been over 2 months. No, going on 3 months. No sight of Jack and Lily Sullivan. Police have not been searching the woods anymore. So if the kids are in the woods, man, it don't look like they're going to be found. Okay. But they searched miles and miles of those woods with nothing. And you got to remember, according to them, the kids couldn't have been gone very long before the police were out there. Vincent, thank you. And we know Lily had lungs and could scream so loud that you could hear her from miles away. They would have heard Lily in those woods. They would have heard Jack and them crying. I mean, they searched with hundreds of people, drones, miles and miles around that house, searched the lakes. Nothing. Divers in the water. Now, they do have that YouTuber, the Mexican guy that found baby Dane. I think he should be making his way up to Canada to research those bodies of water, because Daniel said he was running through water up to his neck. Y'all remember that? I just, for some reason, I get a bad vibe about this guy. I believe something transpired in that home the night before they went missing. And we learned just recently that, you know, both of these kids, Chillin. What's up, Chillin? Thank you for subbing up. We're about 50 people or 45 people away from hitting 71,000. So if you're watching right now, I'm talking to you, and you ain't subbed up to this channel yet, sub up. Help us hit 71. We might be able to do it tonight or tomorrow. You know, let's get some people, you know, continuing to search. We heard Daniel say he'll search until his last day. He promised Malaya this. Now he got a new girlfriend, and I don't think he's out there searching. If he is, he's not publicly doing it. The news in Canada is not running much coverage of Jack and Lily. Has the news and the police, RCMP, have they gave up on Jack and Lily? I mean, it's a scary situation, right? And then now we got Daniel out here insulting YouTubers, okay? He told the one girl from It's a Crying Shame that she needs to give birth to a bucket of KFC chicken. That's a little odd. You know, he was just friends and in there answering questions, but when people don't go take his narrative and run his narrative, he don't want to mess with you anymore, because he wants people that will go along with what he's saying. He likes weak people, people that he can manipulate, like Durwood, right? That's the kind of people that, oh, he'll tell you something. If you don't run what he's saying, he don't really want to mess with your channel. So long as people are treating him good and kissing his ass, he's okay with you. But as soon as you ain't, he's not. Like, you notice he came in here and he ain't been back because, you know, Dolly, we don't kiss ass around here. We ask the difficult questions. We don't care if you come in the room every day. You are suspect until you're proven not to be. It's simple as that. I'm not holding your hands. We ain't going fishing together. We ain't going to be making s'mores and singing Kumbaya anytime soon. What's this say? But to think, piece by piece or the whole bucket? Piece by piece or the whole bucket? I think he was referring to the whole bucket. I mean, I'm not quite sure. Did you see Sonny's KFC live feed? She, yeah, that's where I seen that he had told her to give birth to a bucket of chicken. Okay. Now it almost sounds like something Dolly would say, but not as funny. But, you know, her reply back to it was, you know, she had those chicken nuggets and it kind of made me hungry. When she showed it, I kind of wanted some. I was just thinking, damn, you didn't even share the chicken. If you're going to birth some chicken, you at least better share it. Okay. I didn't know you could birth chicken, but hey, whatever works. Canada got their own way of doing things. Eh? So I guess, the bromance in paradise didn't last long. Okay. Now he done moved on to dead corpse. Okay. But don't worry. That corpse will kiss your ass. That corpse is a major ass kisser. Okay. It kissed Molly Golightly's ass for a good 3 years. Okay. So you can probably milk that for what it's worth, Daniel. Okay. That's a good one for you. And he'll give you great makeup tips. All right. But way better tips than Dolly could give you. All right. If you want to look like a dead body or you plan on unaliving anytime soon, you know, he should be sponsored by a coffin company brought to you by corpses.com, okay, or something crazy, you know, like he could sell like coffins, I guess. I mean, look, well, who better to buy a coffin from than a dead person? Okay, that's alive like a zombie. It should be zombie media, okay, because that's what it is. That's what it is. I swear. I'd take a stake. Somebody needs a wooden stake. That dude could be a vampire for all we know, right? A bloodsucker, a El Chupacabra with a lot of makeup on. Shit, you not. But anyway, so Daniel's been getting mad at YouTubers. But here's the thing, Daniel, you're a suspect, bro. You're a suspect till you're proven innocent. And the police, you took a lie detector test. RCMP didn't come out and clear you. They didn't even come out and said you passed the test. The only person that said you passed the test was you. He could be Ren and Stimpy, okay? Not Edward. Okay, not Edward. Conehead zombie. Conehead. Why his head shaped like that? That's my question. Why his head shaped like that? Okay, can you get a head that's shaped like a human? All right. And how did you get orange? You know, I didn't know there was an orange race of people. I didn't. I thought Donald Trump was the only orange person. I guess it's like you part Oompa Loompa. You know, like how do you get that color? Like, I don't know. I don't want to pick on orange people though. Snooki. Okay, we got Snooki. We got Tumble Corpse. We got Donald Trump. I guess, you know, the new thing is to be jaundice. I don't know. I don't know. But y'all should get along great, Daniel. Okay? Because both of y'all are full of shit and lie. And you know what y'all have in common? Neither one of y'all give a F about kids. So y'all should be BFFs over there. If that ain't a bromance made in paradise, I don't know what it is. But just wash your cheeks. Okay, watch them. Sherlock Cone. There you go. But anyway, the kids are still missing. Both of these people should be sitting beside BRYAN KOLBERGER in a maximum security penitentiary somewhere in Canada. Malaya, Daniel, Janie, Durwood, Justin, all them people that were at that house know what happened to Jack and Lily. Now let me give my warnings. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. Just my opinion, people. Completely satire. All jokes, just jokes. The caller's opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on the Dolly. Everyone's innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. Even these knuckleheads we're talking about tonight. And the biggest one of them all. And I think y'all already know. Don't try to be Dolly at home. It's dangerous. Okay? You can end up in a scary situation. Anyway, like I was saying, these people need to be in jail. And they're not. I feel like the RCMP, they have failed us. They have failed Jack and Lily. We need a miracle at this point. We need somebody that's seen something, heard something. You know, $150,000 reward and nobody has talked. That tells me right there that these kids, in my opinion, are not alive. Drink Sunny D, it'll turn you orange. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Too much Sunny D. When you get too much vitamin C in your blood, okay, or you soak yourself in orange peels. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how you get. I don't know how it happens. Fake and bake, maybe, in like something with the lights, and there's a malfunction, and you turn orange. Maybe you're from Mars. I don't know. I don't know. That's a new one for me. That's a new one for me. And I don't even know how you. I don't even know how you get that color, right? They failed Dylan too. Long gone. Yeah, these kids, they're gone. And they ain't coming back. They're not going to pop up. You know, a lot of people still think the kids have been hidden. And I asked people in the beginning, how long are you going to believe that these kids have been hidden? People are like, I was like, 6 months from now, will you change your mind? And most people are like, yeah. Okay, well, we're going on 3 months. So 3 months from now, are y'all going to change your mind about these kids being missing? That they've been handed off? I don't think so. They haven't been kidnapped. There's no signs of abduction. Janie was lying about Malaya being at the street. She was never at the street. She showed where she was at in the driveway, where she was raking the night before with allegedly either a rake or a shovel in her hand, which is odd. You see him with a shovel the night before 2 kids disappear. That ain't suspicious. You got Daniel telling 72 different stories. Now, I don't know if it's 72, but I lost count at like 4. Okay. Once he told about 4 different stories, it might as well be 72 because you ain't telling the truth. You're lying. You told the police a different story than you told the media. Carrie?
Woohoo, Dolly even broke bad on the Pet Plus in Chief. Pouting face emoji.
Thank you for being with us tonight, Carrie, and keeping Dolly alive. It means a lot. Thank you. So, you know, if nobody throws a fit and everybody just goes silently into the night, the RCMP are not going to do nothing. Okay? They ain't going to do jack crap. Okay? But use the other word. They ain't going to do nothing. They just going to move on to something else. Maybe a stolen bike. They got better odds of finding that, right? I doubt they find that with their detective work that I've been seeing. You just letting a person, like, all they have to do is watch the internet. And some of the things Daniel has said, like, you know, this could be a career boosting opportunity. How does he see that? Right? Like, his own words are like, bro, you got some problems. And, you know, the new girlfriend situation is, he's ready to move on with his life. He's ready to move on. Like, he says there was no problems with Malaya and everything was fine. And women don't leave you when everything's fine. I hate to break it to you. Listen, I've been left by a lot of women. And everything won't fine, okay? I can't think of one time everything was fine and a woman said, hey, I'm getting my shit and I'm out, right? Usually that's when it's bad, okay? So, he's lying, right? Oh, we were getting along great. She was smooching and kissed me. And then she left and put I'm single on her Facebook page. What universe does that happen in? That don't happen, okay? That don't happen. I've been stabbed. Women don't just leave, right? They try to hurt you first, right? They try to hurt you first. My dog got kidnapped. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember I had a battle in court to get my damn dog back? Women are crazy. Okay. Y'all some crazy beings out here, women. Women they ain't just going silently into the night. No, you got to get the last word in. Bust somebody in the head with something, stab a dude. You just ain't leaving like that. You ain't leaving on peaceful terms, okay? I've never seen anybody split up on peaceful terms. Oh, well, our relationship's so great. I just think we should go our separate ways. Said nobody, okay? Said nobody. I've never heard that one. I've never seen that in my 50 years of life. Right? But I'm going to believe him. Okay. I'm going to believe him. Oh yeah. Their relationship was perfect. They were hover parents. Your kids got black eyes. You don't know where they're at. That don't sound like good parenting to me. Okay. Pictou is not New York. New York, they would have found the kids. Okay. It's worse. It's worse than New York. Maybe y'all don't got big rats. Okay. They'd have found the kids in New York. True story. Stop dating crazy women, Dolly. I did. I got me a good one now. Got me a good one. I'm just saying there were some past experiences that didn't end so well. Okay. That didn't end so well. So I remember I was in high school. I was dating this girl. This is a true story. This one's good. And we were splitting up and I was just over it. She was cheating, right? She was one of those kind of people. And I was packing my stuff and I'm getting ready to leave, right? So I got a book bag. I'm throwing my stuff in the book bag and I throw the book bag over my shoulder and I'm walking out the door and I think I made it out the door clear. Okay. Like, oh, this is just too easy. I'm going to smooth sail right on out this door. And you know how you got the screen door? They had one of the metal ones, right? So I get to the metal screen door and I'm opening the door and I'm about to take that first step out the door. You know, the mirrors that women use that one side is like, you look at it and it's like regular, but then if you spin the mirror around, it blows your face up so you can put your makeup on. And it has a little lights on it, like a little vanity light thing. So I'm at the door. I'm walking right out the door. And this girl slings this damn thing and busts me right in the head with it as I'm walking out the door. I got my book bag. Bam! Right? Because I called my friend to come pick me up. And I was like, yo, come get me. This girl's crazy. She's screaming and cussing. And I'm trying to get out of here. And he's like, all right, I'm on my way, man. So as soon as he pulls up, I grab my stuff. Like I said, I get one foot out that door and that mirror busts me, slamming the head, splits my head wide open. Okay. I mean, I'm bleeding everywhere. I get my buddy's car. He's like, yo, man, you got to get out of my car. Right. You got to get out, get something to get the blood. Right. And cause I'm pouring blood. It's like leaking down the back of my head all up. And he had a new car. Right. So he gets out, he finds an old t-shirt. I got this t-shirt on my head. And then finally I get the hell out of Dodge, right? But I thought I was getting away scot-free. I was like, okay, this is smooth sailing. I'm gonna just flow right on out the door. This is like, you know, she's cussing, right? But she ain't attacking. So I'm thinking, okay, I got this. Oh no, should never turn my back. Lesson number 1, never turn your back. Okay, fellas, any guys out there, keep an eye on them at all times. Even if you got a side eye, right? I guess the eye in the back of my head wasn't working because that shit hit me hard. I mean, hard. I had a big ass knot on my head. My head was busted open. Yep. So that's what I'm saying. I doubt that they really left on good terms. Dolly, I done that once. Threw his cell phone at him and it done stuck lodged right straight in his forehead. Okay. No, not to date you, right? Any guys in here, don't date her. All right. Don't do it. All right. It can be dangerous. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he made it out to be like they had the perfect relationship, Dolly had a bad picker. I did. It was broke there for a while. It was a broken picker. Yeah, that sucked. It's something I'll never forget. You know what I'm saying? It's a war story. It's like one of those things that like it makes you a little not trusting of people. Okay. Now, I don't know why people can't split on good terms. Like, hey, you know, this just ain't working. You know, you do you, I'll do me. We go our separate ways. You know, it's probably for the best. We're probably better off friends. You ever heard that one? We're better off friends, right? That shit don't happen. Not in my life. It hasn't. Just to me, right? I'm always waiting to get stabbed, hit with something. Something bad's about to happen, right? It just, my dog's going to get kidnapped. Something bad is going to go down, right? But, you know, they had the perfect relationship and she just up and left him. I think the girl was mad, right? We had a few words and she was mad. I don't think she was brokenhearted. You know, usually brokenhearted people don't cheat on you. And she just didn't like what I said about her cheating. And then when I went for the door, I got the mirror to the head. Okay. And I mean, she slung it from the kitchen too, straight through the kitchen, through the living room, and hit me going out the door. She should have played professional baseball or something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know her aim was so good. She should have been in archery. Insane, right? It's, you in the wrong business. She was a dog groomer. Okay. You in the wrong business. You need to be playing for the NFL. You got an arm. All right. So, you know, just war stories, You think, right? I know. So to act like, you know, they had this perfect relationship didn't happen. There was some type of domestic situation going on in that house. And, you know, we've heard that she has accused Daniel or a bunch of stuff of, you know, even Durwood said abusing Jack. Now, she never said that. That came from Durwood. That, you know, allegedly Daniel was. And the thing is, Daniel and Durwood are friends. So why would he say something like that? Because maybe Malaya is blaming him of that stuff. And Jack did have black eyes and what appeared to be either a cigarette burn or a bruise on his face. And I get kids fall down. Listen, I mean, like I said, I rode BMX bikes, crazy, climbing trees, jumping on stuff. You know, I can't think of one black eye I've ever had. I mean, I'd be covered in bruises, but I can't think of one black eye on my face that I had. The only time I've ever had a black eye is when I've been hit in the face by somebody. A fight in school or something like that. But I can't think of one time as a kid I had a black eye. And it was just like, you know, even in the Sebastian Rogers case, there was a picture that surfaced with bruises on his neck. How does a kid get bruises on his neck? Will you fall on your neck? I don't see that happening much, right? So to see these kids, and what's with kids that go missing and they're all covered in bruises before they go missing? Something's going on in that home, and they made it out to be like it was some happy home, and it definitely wasn't. There's more going on behind the scenes than we know, and only people that know are the people that were there. And most of the people there that are talking, they're lying, and the people that ain't talking, they're just as responsible as the people lying, in my opinion. Dolly, I agree. Dylan and Bethany waited hours before calling the police, and they had their friends come over before they called police. Truth and justice. Yeah. I mean, I know they didn't do it, but it is odd that they, you know, I don't know. I wanted to hear what they said to see what they were thinking on that, you know? You know, that she had a toothache and she took some Tylenol and went back to bed, but they were texting. It don't make a lot of sense, but sometimes reality is strange, and just thank God they're alive. They're actually lucky to be alive, right? Because if he would have had a chance, he would have killed everybody in that house. So they better thank God the way things happened, or they wouldn't be here today to tell their story and to confront the killer. Nothing happened immediately other than a cover up. Now, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to put that on them. I'm just going to say, you know, speak what we know, and it's odd. Just odd. I mean, it don't make them killers. It just makes it an odd situation. We don't really know because we wasn't there to experience what they experienced or to think what they were thinking. I mean, me, myself, I would have called the police. Dolly, what is wrong with your eye? Which one? Nothing's wrong with my eye. Other than I'm half blind. Wow, what's my eye doing? Am I shape-shifting live? Okay. There is this YouTube channel out there that says I'm a shapeshifter. Oh my God, it's so late. Why didn't I get a notification? I don't know. I really think they're pretty drunk, so they probably talked themselves into get. I mean, I don't know. I know they were drinking. Don't touch the mullet. Okay, that's what happens when you touch the mullet. You get a bad eye, pink eye. It's a shadow. Oh, okay. Back to sleep. Well, I got to get ready to get out of here because, like I said, I'm hitting the road in the morning. I'm going to Raleigh, North Carolina for GalaxyCon. All right. Art the Clown's going to be there. And PJ got me a meet and greet with Art the Clown for Saturday. So Saturday, I'll get to meet Art the Clown, which is like one of my favorite horror movie people, which is super cool. So I get like a 8x10 picture with him signed. So I'm going to blow it up into like a big poster and put it on my wall. So I'm looking forward to that. Dolly is an alien shapeshifter from Mars. There you go. I'm glad somebody noticed. Enjoy, Dolly. I'm so late. You can't leave yet. Well, I mean, I'm not leaving right this second, but I'm leaving in just a couple minutes. So, like I said, I got to drive in the morning. I got to get up. I was going to rent a car that has AC because my truck don't. And I'm thinking it's a 3.5 hour ride, 4 hours roughly, maybe longer with traffic. If I can sweat it out, you know what I'm saying? It would save me some money. But, I mean, I don't know. I may get up and rent a car in the morning with AC so I don't sweat to death. I just don't know if I want to spend that much money for AC. Because, I mean, I know my truck can make it there and back, but it has no AC. Has windows. Yes. And one of them sticks. Like, it'll roll down, but you got to play with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I may grab a rental in the morning so I don't die. I got most of my stuff packed. Not everything, but some of my stuff. And, yeah, so I'm going to have to probably get up early to get things together. It's your light and you look really pale. No, I'm not really pale. It must be just the lights. Ghostly. Yes, you do. Tomorrow is going to be hot as hell, Dolly. Is it? Traffic and yeah, that's my fear. Like if the truck's moving, the wind's blowing, I'm good. But if I get overheated, I start to get a little freaked. You know, because of the, you know, the whole heart situation and things like that. I don't like to be really hot. And when it's really hot, I kind of get a shortness of breath. I noticed that lately. So I probably will rent a car tomorrow, which sucks. Do you need somewhere to stay? No, I'm going to stay in a hotel. I'm going to stay in a hotel. I'm not staying in my car. I know that. And I'm not driving the camper truck. They ain't got AC. That's the only problem is they don't have AC. Dolly, get the rental. You need it. Rent a car. That's what I'm thinking. I got to get up a little extra earlier though to go rent it. And I think the rental car place opens at 9. All I need is a good 6-7 hours of sleep. I'm in the Bay Area, coldest summer since 1982. Well, it ain't cold here. Let me tell you, boy, it is hot on the East Coast. It has been a scorcher this summer. It started early.
Get a hydration backpack. It will keep you cool.
Get a hydration backpack. Well, I don't think, Susan, I'm going to have a chance to get a hydration backpack. I used to have one, like a camel hump. It was like a one sleeve thing you put on your back and it had a little straw that you could drink out of. But where the hell am I going to get one of those at 1 o'clock in the morning? So I don't think that's happening, but thank you for the $10. I mean, if I can hit a Walmart early in the morning, I don't know if they'll have them, but sometimes I've seen them in Walmart, but certain times of the year, maybe in the camping section, they may have some. I'd have to look, but yeah, I don't know if it'll keep me cool. Put ice in it? Like, how's it going to keep me cool? Usually you just put water, something cool. I guess if you put something cool in it, it may keep you cool. but it ain't gonna do the same as air condition. Yeah, with the windows rolled up, seat leaned back. You know what I'm saying? So PJ told me the same thing too. She said, just get a car. And I was like, you know how I don't like to spend money. I'm just like that. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to spend a bunch of extra money. And she's like, don't stay in a crack hotel. And I'm like, eh. So what's up, Dolly in chat? What is up, Elevated Truth? Not a whole lot. Getting ready, not too far from getting out of here. I got to be up. Get the rental, Dolly. I got to be up tomorrow. I'm heading to GalaxyCon.
Neck fan.
Neck fan. I bought my daughter one. She's out in Orlando. I think she comes back, I think Sunday. So she went to some K-pop concert, and her and her friends are going to, this case is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy cases. She's going to, what is the park down there? Disney? Is it Disney World or Disneyland? I don't know which one it is. Universal? Is that it? She's going to the park. I told her to go see the alligators, because I was supposed to go to alligators when I went down to Stephen Stearns. So maybe I'll broadcast Tiff, because I was going to broadcast from the alligator park. Maybe I'll get Tiff to take my place since she's already down there. And I'll be like, go to the alligator park, live stream, and I'm going to feed her stream here. Because I was going to go wrestle some alligators, right? I was feeling frisky. I was like, yeah. Go, remember the, what was it, the crocodile hunter? Wasn't that his name? Steve Irwin? So I wanted to see some alligators while I was there, but she did take a picture with a big shark today and send it to me. It looked like a pretty big shark. Disney World and Universal. Okay. Yeah, I ain't never been there. I've been to Florida. I've been to like Daytona. I've been to Jacksonville. I've been to Miami. I've been to the Keys. I just ain't never been to Orlando, that side of Florida. Dolly got to get his arm stuck in an alligator mouth. I ain't scared of no gators. But last time I took y'all to the gator park was the one in South Carolina, which was, I was good with the gators until we got to the snakes. And they had every venomous snake in the world. They had a black mamba. They had every different type of cobra you could think of. I seen more poisonous snakes that day than I ever seen in my life. And the black mamba was missing, right? So when I go out, the girl's working the counter, right? And I was like, the black mamba ain't in its cage. And she goes, oh, I know, it's in the wall. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, it gets up in the wall. There's a little opening in its cage, and it can get up in the wall, and we got to constantly get it out the wall. I was thinking, you got a venomous damn snake in the wall? That didn't make me feel too safe. Okay. I was like, that don't sound good. I mean, I don't, ain't that one of the most venomous snakes in the damn world is crawling through your walls? I don't know how far it could get in the wall. Probably not too far. But does anybody remember when I took y'all to the gator place? And these weren't no little gators. And it was unsupervised. There was nobody in there. Right? I'm just walking through there and there's these big ass alligators everywhere. I mean, they were in little fences, but they were little fences. I was thinking, I hope one of these damn alligators don't get out one of these little ass fences. I'm going to be a alligator snack. Dolly, did you apply for your visa yet? No. Dolly, did you apply for your visa yet? You want to check out the highest tides in the world. Okay. Canada is like really silly about criminal charges too, like misdemeanor charges. If you have any like misdemeanor charges, I ain't got no felonies, but if you have any misdemeanor charges, you have to apply for you have to submit a rehabilitation form to Canada to get in. So then they got to review your form, and then they can decide if you are rehabilitated, if your charges are over 5 years old, which I haven't been arrested in 5 years. So, other than that disorderly conduct, right? That was 3-4 years ago, right? Most of y'all watch me go to jail on YouTube. So I don't know. Even if I get a visa, I still don't know if I can get into Canada, right? So I would have to submit these forms, or they have what is called like a residency form, temporary residency form. Like if you're going to go apply for a job, or you have a good reason to go to Canada, they may still let you in. But they're real strict on any crime getting into their country. So if you have like basically just misdemeanor record, Canada may not let you in, even with the passport. And I was like, well, that's weird. We let everybody, you can just walk into our country. Canada, that's how it should be. Like, look, people get mad when we send illegals back that are felons and do all the bad stuff. People get, they're picking on the immigrants. Canada won't even let you in their country. You can have a petty misdemeanor crime on your record and they won't let you in. Now, I don't have any theft or anything bad on my record. So if you submitted the form, they'd probably let me in, but there would be hurdles that I had to jump to get in. And somebody came in and said, well, you can drive in with a real ID. No, you can't. I Googled it, right? And there's no real time limit on your charges. People say 5 years, but the visa people, they can go back far as they want to go into your criminal record. And then, like I said, you got to submit a form that says you're rehabilitated and you won't reoffend on misdemeanor stuff to get into the country. You don't believe it? Google it, because I Googled it. I was like, okay, let me see what I got to do. And then I was like, okay, that's a lot of hurdles to get into Canada. Like, damn. Don't blame them. I mean, it's their country. They can do whatever they want to do. But I mean, I believe it just assault and fraud they won't allow in. No. It's reckless driving. You can't get into Canada. If you got a reckless driving charge, I think my reckless driving was dismissed a long time ago. So, yeah, they got all kind of damn rules for Canada. I was reading them. I was going over and I was like, okay, that sucks. Okay. But I mean, it can still happen. It's just you would have to submit this form because I have a petty some misdemeanor charges on my record, and they would have to approve me to get in. Because what would suck is you fly into Canada with a passport, and then they go, oh, no, we ain't letting you in. So that would suck. The passport card you can drive in. Rest in peace, Prince of Darkness, Ozzy. Yes. So that would really suck. So before I go to Canada, I'm going to make sure everything's good before I get there. And they go, oh, no, we ain't letting you in. You that controversial YouTuber. I can't even get into Crime Con, and that's in America. Okay. They won't even let me in Crime Con. They'll let me in. They just won't let me take part. I can go in, walk around, shake hands, kiss babies, right? I just can't sit down. Well, I can sit down. I just can't sit down with my banner behind me, which I find crazy, but they consider me rehabilitation, pay a lawyer $2K, you can get in. You know what the chances of that happening is? You know what the chances that is? Not good. Okay. The chances of me giving a lawyer $2K to get into Canada, yeah, not good. Make some laws are stupid. Okay, just want him to get a inhaler or something. Water pills. It will help. Who? What? Okay. So anyway, guys, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Like I said, I got to get up in the morning. I got to be heading to GalaxyCon to hang out for the weekend. So I'm going to be taking it easy. This should be pretty fun for me. You know, I enjoy this type of stuff. So I'll get to see some B-list celebrities. I'm looking forward to meeting Jamie Kennedy. Okay. Anybody know who Jamie Kennedy is? Malibu's Most Wanted. Shrink, shrink, make me blink. Go to the sink and vomit. Clean it up with Comet. The earth is my planet. That guy. Anybody know who Jamie Kennedy is? And anybody seen the movie Bucky Lassiter? Bucky's going to be there too. And Jamie Kennedy. So I'm looking really forward to meeting them two dudes and Art the Clown. Everybody else. Oh, and all the people from 90210 are going to be there. I think Weird Al Yankovic, William Shatner. Who else is going to be there? There's a whole list of people. The dude from Ice Nine Kills. Who else is going to be there? Who else? Not a lot of horror people. Tell them you're Amish. Why the hell would I tell them that? Stay safe and have fun. Well, I'm going to be streaming live with you guys. Well, tomorrow I'll probably be from the hotel. I'll stream with y'all. And then Friday, I'll be streaming a lot of the day, Friday. And then Saturday, I meet Art the Clown. So, and Friday, y'all get to see the costume that I'm wearing. And I told y'all it's something horror movie-ish, but I didn't tell y'all who. And I didn't see anybody guess it. Okay. It's old school though. It's a little old school. So I figured some older people. I tell you, it ain't from a movie. It's more from a TV show. Okay. That's your second clue. I said it's horror movie-ish, but it ain't from a horror movie. Even though there was a movie, but it was a movie based on a TV show. Okay. Huh? Who? I don't even know who that is. So y'all have to tune in and see, right? You'll have to tune in and see. The Omen, that was a good movie. The Omen, that's probably one of the scariest damn movies I seen as a kid. But the scariest movie, like that scared me to death when I was a young buck, I'll tell y'all what it was. The Phantasm. Has anybody ever seen that movie? The Phantasm with the tall man. That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Gave me nightmares. I can't think of one movie that's ever given me nightmares but that movie. And it has the little gremlins in it that be grave robbing, and then they have the little ball, and the tall man releases the ball, and there's like little drills and little like spikes that come out the ball, and they fly up and hit people in the head and start drilling into their head. Anybody ever seen that movie? Too short for Slender Man. Well, which some people are guessing close. You know, you got to remember it's somebody short. It was a TV show, and they made a movie out of it. Now, I can't tell you if you got it right or not. You got to tune in and find out. So, it's somebody spooky. Most disturbing movie I ever seen was called Nothing But Trouble or something. Dark Shadows, Cousin It. Okay, well, tune in. You'll see Friday. You'll get to see. All right, guys, y'all be good. Stay safe. And remember, if nobody else does, Dolly loves you. Peace.